You sit down to do your best work, but your head feels incredibly heavy. Your thoughts seem to be moving through molasses. Words slip out of your memory mid-sentence, and everything just feels dull. 2024 data shows cognitive decline after COVID-19, a 3 IQ point drop for mild cases, 6 for long COVID, and 9 for ICU patients. But zooming out, a Yale study reveals this downward inflection actually started in 2016. The virus merely accelerated an existing decline. Here is the paradox for doctors. When patients reporting these severe cognitive symptoms undergo an MRI, the results look completely normal. There is no visible damage, no lesions, and no structural change. To figure out why a physically invisible condition is dragging down global processing power, we have to step away from modern brain scans and look at a bizarre anomaly from over a century ago. In 1916, during the brutal trench warfare of World War I, soldiers faced a terrifying reality. When the order came to charge the enemy lines, it meant stepping directly into almost certain death. Private Harry Farr was one of these soldiers. When his commanding officer yelled to advance, Farr didn't run away, and he didn't raise his weapon. He stood completely still, locked in place, unable to move a single muscle. The military court labeled him a coward. Farr, along with 306 other soldiers who exhibited the exact same behavior, was executed by firing squad. Their commanders thought they were witnessing a conscious refusal to fight. In reality, these soldiers experienced a total involuntary paralysis triggered by extreme psychological pressure. They were completely stripped of their physical control. And the exact same ancient biological circuitry that locked Private Farr in the trenches is the mechanism powering your brain fog today. We need to stop thinking of the human mind as a magical, unlimited supercomputer. It is a highly restricted biological circuit, bound by a strict energy budget. Your brain accounts for only 2. The sympathetic nervous system redlines the mind into a state of absolute panic, while the parasympathetic system simultaneously slams on the physical brakes, forcing total stillness. This involuntary freeze makes the predator lose interest, allowing the animal to escape. But this extreme system override was designed to resolve in a matter of minutes. A lion eventually leaves. Today, the threats never walk away. Instead of one massive roar, modern life subjects you to hundreds of tiny, inescapable roars, never-ending notifications, compounding debt, and relentless performance metrics. Your amygdala, the brain's ancient threat detection center, cannot tell the difference between a physical predator in the jungle and a psychological predator in the office. It processes an aggressive email thread with the exact same biological alarm system. When trapped in a slow, continuous state of psychological threat, your brain realizes that fighting your boss or fleeing the office won't ensure survival. So the master algorithm defaults to its secondary priority, rationing your limited energy supply. This model shows exactly what happens inside the skull. The bright area here is the executive function network, the calorie-dense region responsible for your focus, willpower, and complex problem-solving. To save power, the brain actively restricts the energy flowing to this specific area. You feel this stemming as an overwhelming mental slowness. Brain fog is your mind successfully executing a survival protocol, forcibly throttling down your processing power to conserve energy in an unwinnable environment. The medical community has tried treating this with cognitive rehabilitation, brain stimulation devices, and specialized training apps. A recent National Institutes of Health trial tested these methods, and the success rate for approved treatments was 0. You cannot medicate a defense mechanism. To turn the cognitive engine back on, you have to manually convince the brain's alarm system that the environment is safe. The first protocol is imposing strict structure on your daily routine. Unfinished tasks and endless daily decisions trigger the Zeigarnik effect, creating open cognitive loops that constantly drain your processing bandwidth. Setting non-negotiable waking times and designated work blocks removes choice from the equation. When you enforce these rigid boundaries, you take control away from a chaotic environment, which actively suppresses the release of chronic stress hormones. In an era overflowing with digital noise, ruthless scheduling is your biological shield. The second requirement is to actively stimulate the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You don't need a supplement for this. You just need 20 minutes of daily aerobic movement. Elevating your heart rate triggers a massive release of BDNF, physically sprouting new neural branches in your hippocampus, while simultaneously flushing out accumulated cortisol. Physical exercise acts as a mandatory mechanical switch to flip your cognitive engine back online. The final protocol happens entirely in the dark. Deep sleep activates the glymphatic system, a hidden network that acts as the brain's internal waste disposal unit. During deep sleep, your brain cells literally shrink in size by up to 30%. This opens up wide channels, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush through like a power washer, clearing out the toxic metabolic waste that damages neural tissue. But this deep cleaning cycle is highly sensitive to disruption. To ensure the system fully engages, you must completely cut off all screen exposure 45 minutes before sleep. Your mind is not broken, and you haven't lost your edge. You are simply operating an ancient biological system inside a modern psychological minefield. To get your clarity back, you just have to structure your environment to protect it.